Okay, good Sunday morning. I guess barely. It's about 5 till noon here today. Man, my lighting is awful. Um anyway, I just wanted to touch base a little bit earlier today. Yesterday I waited till last minute. So what came up this morning in my planning process was exactly that, the difference between planning and doing. I am a habitual overthinker and probably could even say an over planner. I like to think of myself as being fairly intelligent, but hold on, a little upstream issue here. Um, I like to think of myself as fairly intelligent, but I spend way too much time thinking about things. I'm trying to plan. I'm trying to think about possible things that could go wrong and ways that I can do things different so I can prevent them from going wrong. And what typically ends up happening, not typically, what has happened a lot in the past is that I just don't do anything then. I get too many things to do, I overthink it, overplan it, and then just end up getting to a week from there and nothing has changed. And so that's a problem. So one of the things that I've done to help that is surround myself with a bunch of high performers that I share my goals with, and they help hold me accountable. Only I ultimately can do the work. And when I check in with these guys, I can always say I didn't get to it. I can have all kinds of excuses and reasons why I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Um, and that doesn't really matter to them because it's all about me and what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So anyway, that's a big thing. And what I've learned is, it's just all about taking action and setting aside time for planning. If I don't set that time aside, can't talk today, um, then I spend all of my doing time planning, and that just kind of defeats the purpose, right? So, the example that I used in my email that I sent this morning was, vacation planning. The nice thing about vacation planning is there's a deadline. Once you book the tickets and the hotels and that kind of thing, you're in. And so the planning has a finite end point that you have to hit in order to execute. And even in those situations, I can go into an over planning phase, but I know that there's an end point. So eventually it ends. Um, I like to think that once I've planned it really well, then everything goes smoothly and then I can stop worrying. My wife would say I'm a liar. I worry all through the whole process too, making sure, especially when there's other people like family involved or even just friends, because I don't want, if I'm in charge of planning, at least partially planning, I don't want anything I have done to affect their enjoyment of that trip. So, but anyway, with that endpoint, it helps me to get things done and then actually execute the transaction. When it comes to the other domains in life, like business and what have you, if I don't take the time to plan, I go through the whole week planning. So hopefully that makes sense, because if I don't take this, I still need to plan. And if I don't set aside a time aside to do that, then I plan the whole week. All while I'm supposed to be in the doing phase of my week, I'm still planning. I'm still thinking, thinking, contemplating what the next move is. So what I do is I take a couple hours on Sunday mornings and I reflect on what I did the last week, what worked, what didn't work. Think about the adjustments that I need to make, because that week is all set up to move me towards my monthly and annual goals too. And if I don't execute on what my weekly plan was, then I'm off target. So during my weekly planning phase, what I'm doing is I'm thinking about what worked, what didn't work, the adjustments I need to make, and then I set up a new plan for the next week. And when I do that, the productivity for that next week is just unbelievably better. So just something that I, thought a lot about this morning, and really want to encourage you. If you're struggling with productivity, if you're struggling with getting things done, overthinking, being overwhelmed with so much to do, take a little time on a Sunday. Let's just pick a day, but Sundays work usually. If you work for somebody else or you have a business that's open on the weekdays, take a little time, take an hour, take that time for yourself, get off your phone, get out a piece of paper or something on your phone or your computer, and take some notes and think about it. Think about what you accomplished last week and what you want to accomplish this next week, and put some plans down. Say, I'm going to do this on this day, etc. And then do that 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And the changes and the productivity increases that you'll experience will be unbelievable. I promise you. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have had a great weekend, and I will probably be doing some streaming again tomorrow. Take care.